What is going on, everybody? It's the holiday weekend. I hope everybody had a beautiful Thanksgiving. A beautiful Thanksgiving. You know, I don't celebrate holidays, but this year I was grateful for everything that has happened within this last year to me. All the, spiritual phenomenon that I've been going through. Just profound. So I decided to celebrate and had a decent meal. Hope everybody is enjoying their holiday with family, friends, or if you're all alone like me, just enjoy your solitude, peace, and quiet. So, with that being said, here we are, Friday night. As I told you in the last video, that I would come on and talk with you guys, see how you guys are doing. And I really came on here to answer a question or respond to something that someone had wrote in a comment that kind of was a little, I don't know, bugged me a little bit, but that's about it. So I'm going to comment on that first, and whoever shows up wants to ask questions, by all means, ask questions. But I'm going to read this to you real quick, guys. So listen to this. This comes from a Caleb Murdoch, 2028. It says, depending on how insecure Jason is, which I'm far from insecure, I suspect he'll delete this comment, but I hope he reads it first. I haven't had an NDE. Listen to that right away, guys. I haven't had an NDE. Be like me telling you guys, to all the female vehicles, I haven't given birth. Okay? So, but I think this guy almost gets it right. I've studied the phenomenon, so read books, watched movies, but yet hasn't had the experience of dying. But this person says, I almost get it right with all the things that are happening to me. First, you don't have to be a Christian to have a good NDE. I told you from the very beginning, God doesn't care about your religion. Religion plays no part in why you come here, and he doesn't care about your religion, nor does he care if you believe in him, thus being an atheist, that is, right? Which he seems to be implying, and I've never said that. So all you guys, go back to my very first NDE, Love and Light, Jason right here, or to other NDEs that I did 4 years ago. I come right out and say it. He mentions Jesus, the Bible, and calls God Father, but you don't have to believe in those things. Stuff that I've been saying now for close to 5 years. What he gets right, now what I get right, coming from someone that has never died or had a spiritual experience, right? So, but what I do get right is that your thoughts create your reality. I've been saying that for 4 years. We are made of the same collective energy that God is. I told you, we are God. Jesus said it in the Bible. We are all gods. He said gods because there was more than one person standing around. If he said just to one person, he said, you're God or a God, right? Okay. Something that I've been saying for a long time, with the same creative powers. We are the direct manifestations of our Father. So this person is just regurgitating what I've been saying for 4 years through watching stuff, not experiencing it. Okay. It's becoming clear that people who have dark NDEs are bringing their own negative worldview. Regarding karma, it is important to understand that the purpose is not punishment, but education. So what this Caleb Murdoch, is talking about is like me telling all the female vehicles out there, childbirth doesn't hurt. Okay? And I'll always go as far as to say that you're nothing more than a drug addict, because all I've seen from all the videos and books that I've read, the female vehicles go get an epidural, painkillers. Nah, I call bullshit. But what I think this person does get right is it may be a little uncomfortable giving birth, But my point is this, and this comes directly from God. If you did not experience it, I don't care what it is. Could be skydiving, could be scuba diving, could be flying a plane. In my case, having a near-death experience, dying, drowning in my own blood. All right? If you did not experience it, You have no business commenting on it like that. You could say, wow, thanks for this, thanks for that. How about this? How about that? Could you explain this? Could you explain that? Okay. If you did not experience it, you have no business commenting on it. So this person, whoever Caleb is, wouldn't know their own elbow from what I'm sitting on, but they can regurgitate what I've spoken about for 4 years. So am I insecure? No, it just makes me laugh. And the comment is still in there, but for all of you, I need you to understand who's watching. All right. It's good that you're going in for this information. It's good that you are researching it, right? Going in, and where you're getting stuck and where you're having trouble is because you believe in the Bible, or you've read the Bible and it's been taught to you from your great grandma, your parents, so on and so forth. So it's ingrained in you, indoctrinated in you. So when you hear something that's completely the opposite, it's very hard for you to wrap your mind around what we're all saying. I came from the Catholic religion. I grew up Catholic. I firmly believed. I went to Catholic church for 2 years, had read that Bible front to cover, enacted plays, did the whole thing, right? Was an altar boy. I had it rammed down my throat. CCD, you name it, it was there. I believed in it. Why? Why do you think most people that die and come back don't have an NDE? That's what they just call it. When you die, you have a near-death experience because you come back. That's why it's near death. If you died, I wouldn't be talking to you about it, right? So you're on the verge of death. So when we go to the other side, right, it's a part of heaven, but it's like a staging area. Because our body is not fully dead, we're not allowed to go fully home. Okay, we're not, unless you're given that decision. And almost 100% of those people ask, do you want to stay or do you want to go back? Every single person, no matter what love that they're experiencing or what they're experiencing, complete bliss, peace, joy, right? No ego, no fear, no death, just peace. They all choose to come back. Why? We're not done doing what we needed to do. We love our children. We love our parents. I can't do this to my parents. I can't leave my children. We all come back to finish. Even though I didn't want to, came back. I didn't have a choice in my case, right? I was pushed in, my spirit was pushed back into my body. But that's why they call it a near-death experience, because we're not fully dead. So we go to that staging area, right? A holding place where you are welcomed, you are loved, you are greeted, you are, shown. Some people their life review and stuff, which I did not have. But that's why they call it that near-death experience, because you're so near death that you cannot be in your body at the moment until they say, you got to go back, and then we come back, right? But all those given the choice, they come back. They don't want to go home without really finishing what they came here to do, right? So I just wanted to put that person in their place. You can't regurgitate what other people have spoken, and you cannot have an opinion on people's near-death experiences because you've never died, okay? And until you die, or until I miraculously in a male body give birth, I can't tell a female vehicle that childbirth doesn't hurt, even though I've watched numerous videos on it. I have no clue what I'm talking about. None. I've watched both my wives give birth to my children, so I can't even imagine what they're going through. Cannot. All right. So if you want to listen and you want to absorb it, but if something's digging at you the wrong way, that's good. That's your higher self telling you to listen. This person is telling you the truth and is rubbing you the wrong way because you don't like it. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean it's right. It just means it's making you uncomfortable. And that's good. If I've pissed you off, then that's good. That means I've done my job, right? I'm here because I love all of you, right? I don't have to do this for myself. I can sit here, meditate, and all my manifestations are coming in and all that. But, I want to do this for you. I want to help you. I want to get you on the right path to start thinking clearly. Do we or don't we have free will? Yes. From the moment you come out of your mother, you have free will to do what you want, when you want, how you want, say what you want, whatever it is. Yes, you're going to meet the milestones in your life, like whether you want to go to college, get married, have children, blah, 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 blah. Those things are things that you've set. See, some of you may want to say, I want to get real rich and then all of a sudden lose it all and be poor and be homeless. That's going to happen for you. Why? You said it. But how you reach those points is free will. How you choose to interact with somebody that hit you in the grocery store by mistake. You can turn around and chew them out, right? Or you can turn around and say, hey, man, I'm sorry. You know, I hope you have a blessed day. You have free will from the time you come out of mom. What is the difference in the way your mind works when you are in the pure? You don't have fear. You have utter peace. Remember, when you decided to come here, the three things that happened instantaneously, right? Fear, guilt, and the ego. When I left my body and I was home, all of that was gone. The ego was gone. Fear was gone. Guilt was gone. I was in utter peace, in utter love. I knew where I was. I knew I was what I returned to, who was up there by the air conditioner. When I returned to oneness, Father, God, one, all that is, right? So there was no human body. That body was laying down on the bed and I had no love of it, no want to get back in it, nothing. I had no desire of it. So in that moment when I left my body, remember, we're not human, right? This is just a spacesuit, like an astronaut going into space, right? When he puts that spacesuit on, is that who he identifies with? No. He's just using it to get to where he needs to go, right? We're using this body that we created to get around down here to get done what we need to do. And then we go home. We ditch the body like snakes shed their skin, and then we go home. So I was in utter peace, utter peace. There's no words to describe it. Of course. Will God forgive you? You've done nothing wrong, hon. Nothing. I remember I was mad at God for over 40 years. I didn't speak to him. I said, F you. You know what? You're going to let me be abused? Then you know what? You can go F off. I want nothing to do with you. And I didn't speak to him until I was dying. And he, like I said, in all my interviews, he had no business answering my calls to him. None. In any way, shape, or form. I was, a bastard. I was a mean, rotten son of a bitch for most of my life, right? But that was because I chose not to forgive. I chose not to love. I chose the anger, the hate, the rage, the darkness, all low vibration, right? Fueled by a society that wants to keep you in a low vibrational state, coupled with the church. So I was down on the basement. Of course you're going to be forgiven. You've done nothing wrong. Your Father understands where you are and what's going on. In some of my earlier videos that I did, I said, your Father sees you, he hears you, and he feels you at all times. You are never alone, hon. Never alone. He hears you when you're in your mind and you're talking to him. He hears every word you're saying. So be kind to yourself, love yourself, and most importantly, forgive yourself. Negative NDEs come from negative energy. What about people who saw hell and heaven at once? Well, what did they do? Let's take Howard Storm again, right? Let's use Howard Storm. When I went and saw After Death, now I watched his videos and I heard him speak, right? So I'll get to your question. I'm going to finish the heaven and hell NDEs. So when he was dying in the hospital, in his mind, he was replying, I can't die. I have a good job. I have a lot of money. I'm prestigious. I have a good home. I have a wife. He's all into the materialistic world, which we cannot take with us when we go, right? How many people have lost a parent or a loved one or whatever? Do they take their 401k with them? Do they take the clothes? Do they take their car? Did they take everything they loved and bought? No, you're not allowed. because this world isn't real. So when he was out of his body, when he had died, and he's screaming at his wife, hello, 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 I can't die. Can anybody hear me? Right? He's in negative energy. He's in fear. He's terrified. Woo, way down on the bottom, right? So then when he walked down into the hallway, hey, 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 all of a sudden, all of these hooded demons came up to him and dragged him out and started tearing him to pieces, right? Well, as an atheist, he didn't believe in God. So as he's experiencing this, as he's creating it now, remember what the void is. The void is pure consciousness. There is no 3D realm to stop your manifestations from coming true. They happen instantly, right? So while he's creating this in his thoughts, that's what's manifesting and that's what's happening to him. He's having a dark or a hellish NDE. He called them demons. He was being torn apart. And then things started, God, our Father, God, please, right? Boom. The light was there. What did he do? He raised his energy from hate, fear, up to love. And the light appeared. And then he had a beautiful NDE. He was taken home. You should listen to his beautiful NDE. He had a wonderful NDE there. But in the beginning, he was living in fear. He was terrified. Right? He was terrified. Thus, he gave himself a dark NDE or a hellish NDE. And that was it. Your thoughts create your reality. But when you're in the void, those thoughts manifest instantly. So that's why when I was crying out to God, God, please don't let me die. Please don't let me die. I love you. I love you with all my heart. I am so sorry I abandoned you. And Yeshua, please don't take my children from me. Please, I love them. I was in massive amounts of love. Love was flowing through me like a river. Thus, I had a beautiful, beautiful NDE. My energy was through the roof. Okay, that's why you have a dark NDE or a beautiful light one like I did. It's as simple as that. I've said this from the beginning. Your thoughts create your reality. You can bring hell, remember, home, hell. If you want to stay in depression mode, if you want to say, I lost my job, woe was me, I have no money, you're all bringing that energy down, right? Your thoughts create your reality. So that's all you're going to attract to you. I'm going to use another situation, like using a female, right? Who's always in an abusive relationship. She always picks the abusive men, right? Why? Her energy is low. She may want a top shelf guy like me, right? But that's never going to happen. I'm not coming down to you. So your own energy is going to continue to attract those type of men to you. Why? That's where your energy is at. So that's all you're going to manifest is that abusive relationships. And until you can love yourself, forgive yourself, and continuously to climb up that ladder, then you will get those high-class spouses that you're looking for. What are some ways the other side communicates with you while you're on this side? Through your dreams, through your thoughts, through your feelings. Remember, your Father talks to you every day. God talks to you every day. Your higher self talks to you. It's called your intuition, right? So if, say you're going to the grocery store in a hurry and all of a sudden you get this bad feeling, like I shouldn't go, listen to that. That's your higher self. That's God. Those are your angels. Those are your guides talking to you. Don't go. But we've learned to boo-poo that, right? Oh, I'll be fine. I'm just being weird. No, they're talking to you. Listen, your Father, the other side, they talk to you through your emotions, through your feelings. Remember, when you're in alignment with your higher self, home, God, right? You're happy, you're laughing, you're, hooting and hollering, you're making love, right? You're just in a beautiful state of mind. When you're out of alignment with your higher self and with love and home, you're pissed off, you're angry, you're spiteful. Fuck this day, you're out of alignment. They're talking to you. We've learned to tune them out. And I'm telling you to tune into your emotions. Listen to them. Cry if you have to. Laugh, Sometimes people have those, very vivid dreams, those very real dreams. They're talking to you when you're asleep during I call it the happy hour, from like 2 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the morning is when the veil between the non-physical and physical is very thin, membrane thin. And that is when a lot of communication, when we're out of our bodies, that takes place. So, okay, but what about people who saw heaven? It's the same thing. Why they would go to, I've never heard anyone having a beautiful NDE first and then going to hell. That would make no sense. But it would be the same concept. If you decided to get real angry while you're up there, which would never happen, and just decide to go that route, then you would plummet and you would go down. Remember, you're just in the void. There is no hell. Hell doesn't exist. Hell is simply a state of mind, nothing more. So it's the same concept. Remember, you guys, you simply exist as energy. These bodies aren't real. It's simply a tool. Like when you get in your vehicle to go to the grocery store, go get Christmas presents or whatever it is, right? Your vehicle is a tool. For us to live and survive in this low vibration, this materialistic world, we need a suit. Without it, we cannot survive here. We cannot be here. So that's why these bodies are integral. We should take care of them. Eat healthy, drink water, get a little bit of exercise, meditate. It's important. But we're just energy. When I left my body, I still assumed I was Jason Janis. I knew where I was. It was completely and totally superficial. I mean, I was looking at a body that I had no love for or want. I'm looking at all other bodies laying around this ICU room, right? I'm looking through my wall in my ICU room. I'm seeing a beautiful fields of colors and trees and flowers and grass. I was at peace for the first time in my life. I was at complete and total peace. No ego, no fear, nothing but utter love and peace. So we simply exist as energy, and that's it. No more, no less. We are just a bundle of energy. And that's where you get the chakra colors, the blue, the greens, the magentas, right? And all 7 of them. That's what we are consisted of that energy. So if any of you have seen the movie, The Shack, which I've said this before, when he is out in the field and he says, what am I supposed to be looking at? And, the divine feminine of Jesus says, I want you to see what we see. And she closed his eyes and she rubbed his eyes. And when he opened up his eyes, he saw a field full of energy blobs, right? Oranges, greens, blues, magentas, whites. Saw a whole field of his soul family down there. And he looked, and he was like, that's how we exist. That's it. We are simply pure consciousness. Well, what about people? Okay, that's it. We're just energy, guys. Pure energy. I did want to put out there that I saw that you guys were commenting on my new video. Thank you, guys. I haven't had a chance. I've been doing a lot of sleeping this weekend, so I will get to you guys as soon as I possibly can. It's been a very restful weekend, and I'm going to continue to rest and sleep. Been doing a lot of sleeping. If we are pure consciousness on the other side, it would be impossible to be. There is no torture. That you got to remember, evil and cruelty is nothing more than a gift humanity gave itself. To even say that evil and cruelty exists tells me that you don't know God or oneness, right? Because when you're on the other side, fear, guilt, and the ego are gone. You are home. You are at peace. And once you get acclimated, like a lot of NDEs, I'm the only one that has ever said, without hesitation or doubt, I'm home. I knew exactly where I was. Exactly. So Others are like, where am I? What is this place? And, a lot of, Jesus will even say, this is a temporary staging place, where, you come to have your little thing, and you'll either be asked to stay or go. You'll be given the choice. And if you stay, well, then you leave that place and you actually go to the realm or what level you are at home. I think there's 13 levels. So wherever you're vibrating at is where you go. And wherever I was, I'll take it any day of the week without questions, hesitations, or doubts. Even though I begged for my life, I wanted to see my twin flame. I begged for my children. None of that mattered anymore. I wanted to stay. I did not want to come back here in any way, shape, or form at all. I thought the love that I experienced, there are just simply no words for here at all in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, there is no being tortured. We torture ourselves. Remember, your thoughts create your reality. So if you're living in a bad dream, in a bad mood because you're depressed, you have no money, you're blah, 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 you got to get out of your own head, clear it out and say, I am abundant. Your checking account may be negative $100, but you're still in abundance. You have to reprogram your subconscious mind to believe what you are telling it, because it's believing another thing that it's been taught through society, through the church. You have to retrain yourself. It's difficult. You have to do the work. The non-physical will not come down here and do it for you. That's why you came here. You came here to rediscover yourself, to rediscover who you are. Well, I did that. I know who I am. I'm not this. I'm a God. I am my Father. There's no doubt about it. None. And I will not change that for anything, for anyone. Now I am working on manipulating energy, manipulating my physical surroundings. It's all right here. You want to change your reality, you have to go within. And that is what Yeshua was teaching. What he was teaching was revolutionary at the time. It was forbidden, strictly forbidden. And he knew what he was doing was going to lead to his death. He knew that 2 years before it, but he still trudged through it. He was not allowed to teach what he was teaching. So you said, like, you're a volleyball peer of conscience to do other consciousness. Yes. Yeah. When the non-physical is looking at us, they don't see a body. Okay? They don't see a body. They see who you are. When Father is looking at you and speaking with you, all he sees is energy. He sees a big blob of energy. That's it. When they look at us sitting in these square walls, there are no walls here. It's just like a little line that you draw on a piece of paper, right? All they see is a blob of energy sitting in a square room. So that's how they see us. So if heaven and hell are mere conscious from people, then what about people who never... It doesn't matter. God doesn't care about your religion, so he doesn't care about the Bible. As a matter of fact, Jesus has a big bone to pick with the Catholic Church for what they did and how they portrayed him. He was not meant to be portrayed that way. It's not why he came down here. So one, God doesn't care whether you are any type of religion. He would prefer you to not to be. Doesn't care if you ever read the Bible, because it's a pile of garbage. So I would encourage all of you to pick it up and throw it in the trash and follow yourself. Follow who you are. Your inner self is telling you where to go. It's in alignment with love, guys. And that's it. Follow love. Love is everything. It's what we are created out of. We are the direct manifestations of our Father, imbued with the same love, the same light, the same knowledge, the same power as our Father. We are gods. We are creators. Hey, Marie, how are you, hon? I hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I hope you did. Follow love. It's as simple as that. Love with all your heart. And whoever's Love with all your heart and forgive those even quicker that have harmed you or hurt you. Even quicker. All right? All right. Well done. I've been relaxing and I've been sleeping. I've been tired. Like I slept early from like 9 to almost 12 today. And then I slept from 2 to like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'm doing a lot of sleeping. So you have fun. Why everybody who get cardiac arrest? And because sometimes you're just not meant to. You remember, I created my NDE before I came here, right? So anybody that's had a near-death experience, and some say, well, when they died, they were just in the void. All they saw was blackness. Well, that was their NDE. Sorry, but you did not get my question. What is it? If if hell and heaven are mental constructions from people's energy, then what about people who never read the Bible or being a Christian that saw hell during an NDE? Well, then rephrase your question because I maybe I'm not just understanding it. I'm easily distracted. How would you teach someone like me how to meditate? Practice. Start with doing it for 2 minutes. However you want. You can lay down. People mistake meditation. That you think you have to sit crisscross applesauce and your hands like this, or like me, I sit like this, or sometimes like this. My mind wouldn't shut up, and sometimes it still doesn't, right? So sit there for like, give yourself 2 minute timeline. Start with deep breathing, like in through your nose, and then count in your head 2, 3, 4, and let it all out. And then again through your nose and then back out 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll feel your diaphragm move. And just while you're in your head, just keep it quiet. When anything comes out, say gone, goodbye. Focus on something. Focus on a thought. Focus, like I create a black hole in front of me with stars around it, and I just concentrate on that figure that I have. And then I'll have sometimes meditation music playing softly where I can concentrate on that, the energy and the vibration, and I will go through my mantra. But I've been doing it now for a year. You have to just start small, get up in the morning, 10 minutes. Before you go to bed, 10 minutes. Bella, I love you too, hon. Very much. I love you all. Thank you for all your love and support. I am beyond honored. And I'm surprised people showed up because it's the Thanksgiving weekend. You're out with friends and family. So, all my love to all of you who are here. I am truly honored. Some have ND because that was chosen by their journey. What is meant to be? Sin doesn't exist. Again, that's jargon that the church made up to keep you living in fear. If you have to equate sin because you don't want to let the Bible go, well, this comes directly from Yeshua, from Jesus. Sin is simply a lack of love. If you lack love, then if you have to use the word sin, then equate it to that. But nobody's done anything wrong here. Have we made mistakes? Without question. I'll raise my hand. For 40 years, I effed up so many times, more than I could possibly imagine. But in my NDE, I was not judged. I was loved unconditionally. And the moment that I woke up and merged with my higher self, merged with the light, becoming God, I was welcomed home by my father, who eagerly waited my arrival, knew what was coming. And that's why when I woke up, he was standing in the corner of the room waiting for me, anxiously awaiting for me to call on him. There is no sin. Just love everyone and forgive those who have hurt you even quicker. Truly forgive them. without question, hesitation, or thought. You may cry. You may sit down and fall to your knees because what you experienced was brutal. Doesn't matter. Forgive them. That's why Jesus said, even though he wasn't in his body when he was hanging there on the cross, right? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Why? They're lost. We don't remember who we are. Forgive them. They don't remember who they are. They're lost. I forgive them. That was the message. And when he came back, it was to show you that the body wasn't real. Look, I created a new body. You can do it too. Right? That was the whole point of the crucifixion, was to show everybody that the body's not real. He created a new body. We have everything we have inside of us to heal our own bodies, to bring it back to absolute perfection. And I am working on that right now. Every time I meditate, I work on it. I'll take 5 minutes. I am healing my body. I'm sending love to the parts that hurt, so on and so forth. It will happen. Remember, I completed stage 1 to rediscover who we are. I know who I am, without doubt. There is no doubt about that anymore. None. Now I'm working on finding and controlling that energy. I did it once. I will do it again. I will get it. Sin exists. Sin does not exist. I'm telling you that right now. There is no such thing as sin. It doesn't exist. Just like the Bible. It's a pile of crap. It doesn't exist. It's not what he came here to do. So, but if you're stuck in the Bible, that's why when I did my last video on World War III, when I said the new world is pushing into another dimension, right? For all of those that haven't ascended, say someone like you who believes in sin, that believes in that Bible, you're going to be stuck in the 3D world. You'll be stuck in this old version of Earth. And then when everybody has left this old Earth, it'll just disappear. Right? So, and then when you do incarnate again, when it's time to incarnate, instead of incarnating into the golden age of Earth, Father will put you into another 3D materialistic world that you'll have no idea of the old Earth. You'll have forgotten it. It'll, for all you know, whatever, say it could be Calypso, right? The planet Calypso, whatever it is, right? Whatever he decides to send you to. That's where you incarnate. It'll just be another planet like Earth, materialistic, low vibration, low energy, and that's where you will continue to incarnate until you get it. Okay, there you go. Beautiful. Good. So when I tell you guys just to love unconditionally, but it starts with you. You cannot love your family, you cannot love your children, you cannot love me, you cannot love anybody until you love yourself so thoroughly that when you wake up in the morning, you're so happy to see yourself. Like I tell myself how much I love myself all the time, how beautiful I am, how perfect I am. I love myself before I love my father, before I love my children, before I love anybody on this realm. I come first. Remember, you came here to work on you. You came here to work on rediscovering who you are. And the fact that you're here on a Friday night, on a holiday weekend, tells me how important that is to all of you watching this right now. That you are doing the work that it takes to find yourself, to get yourself out of this low vibrational world, to move into that higher state of consciousness. Been looking into reincarnation, and there's no scientific proof for it, nor any other religion for matter that I know of. But why I still? Because it's true. Remember, you're not your body. Jesus had thousands of lifetimes too. You're not going to get it right your very first time. It's never going to happen. There's way too much to know. And look how stuck a lot of you or a lot of this world is. You have to stay patient. Yes, that is beautiful. Stay patient. Open your mind, clear your thoughts, live in love, forgive. That is the quickest way. Go within, find time, even in this holiday time. Even if you're just laying in bed and you're tired and you take that 10 minutes and you clear your mind and you start talking to Father, go create a mantra like whatever it is that you want, create it, then repeat it in your head, but believe it. Don't just say it. Believe that it is already there, right? Like here's a good one that you guys would love, that I had to write down. I am now activating the I am within me. I am allowing the divine intelligence within me to assist me in creating my greatest life. That is a mantra, ladies and gentlemen. I'll repeat it again. I am now activating the I am within me. I am allowing the divine intelligence, the non-physical, within me to assist me in creating my greatest life. That's a beautiful mantra right there. Repeat that in your head. Quiet your mind. Quiet it. Focus on your breathing and repeat that mantra. That's meditation. You could be laying in bed, on your back, on your side. It doesn't matter. You could be washing dishes. You don't have to sit there crisscross Indian sauce. Anytime you're quiet, you're in your mind. You're pushing everything out, no matter what you're doing, and you're creating that mantra and you're saying it. That's meditation. That is you directly communicating with the non-physical, telling them what you want in your life. I am. Remember, if you've listened to my NDE, when Father spoke to me, when I said you picked the wrong person, wrong guy, wrong person. And that's when he was stern with me. And he actually spoke when he said, why not? You are my son. And what did I do? I fell down at the end of the bed and I said, for all that I am you. I am activating the I am within me. I am God. What I want will come. Match that energy and it will come to you. That's called manipulating the physical realm. Jesus was a master at it because he mastered love. Please put that mantra in the description of this video when it uploads. I have to go. All the best. I love you. I will always stay true to myself. You have a blessed rest of your holiday, okay? I love you so very much. Thank you for showing up. I never wanted to be created in the first place. Well, Father created all of us, and when he did, we are a part of him. But remember how powerful you are. You chose to come here. You chose. God does not want you here. Your Father does not want you here at all in any way. And he is eagerly awaiting you. I love you so much. And your Father is eagerly awaiting you to come home. He is eagerly waiting. In all reality, I'm going to be 55 this coming April, right? You know how long I've actually been gone from home? And Earth in physical time, this vehicle is going to be 55. I've only been gone a few weeks, maybe a month. But when we go home, we say, wow, I've been, that took, I was in heaven for a month, because time doesn't exist. So we really haven't been gone that long from home. It may seem like an eternity because, this physical realm is brutally hard. So I hope you truly have a blessed rest of your holiday. So yeah, we haven't been gone that long, but Father is anxiously awaiting. And I promise you, you will come back, because when you have your life review and you're standing before Father in the light and he's showing you things that, that happened that were significant that he wants to point out. There is no judgment, but you are standing up there and going, yeah, I could have done better. Yeah, that's something I need to work on. So when you come back, right, when you're planning your next life, and if you're taking too long, Father will find you no matter what dimension you're in, where you at, what you're doing. He'll say, Come on, hon, it's time to go. Why? You chose this. You have to finish the contract. I talked about that. It's not a soul trap. It's you need to finish what you started, and he's going to hold you accountable for that. You're not going to get out of it. Once you sign that contract and flipped them off, said, okay, I'm an individual. I'm coming here, creating these lives. You're going to finish it, just like Jesus, just like Mary Magdalene. All those that are enlightened now, we will at some point become enlightened. But how do we do that? How can we cut that time like off? Love. Love is everything. Love is everything. Love and forgiveness. Find out who you are. Have that spiritual awakening that you'll know that there's no doubt who you are. No matter what anybody says, you're a light. You can say, okay, you know what? I love you. Best of luck in your journey. I say that all the time, sometimes in my comments. You know what? I wish you nothing but the best. Right? I know who I am. I don't have to explain it. I'm here to teach. I found my calling. I know what it did. That near-death experience slapped me around and put me in a place that I'd never thought I'd be, teaching. And I laughed at it a long time ago when everybody said throughout my life, you need to teach, you need to teach. No. But yet here I am doing exactly what I should have done if I would have followed my intuition and listened to the higher self saying, hey, this is the path you need to go down. Well, guess what? I reached that point in my life where I died. That was the wake-up call. Well, now I'm doing what I came to this earth to do, and I will not fail. I tell my father, I told him today 500 million times, I will not fail you. I will not fail you. I will free these people who are stuck in the halfway of what's real, what's not. I'm the guy that's the no bullshit channel. I don't have a bunch of fluffy things behind me, candles and hearts and all these pretty things. No, I'm real with you because we're out of time. I need you to wake up. I need you to realize who you are. Meditation will help you find your purpose, but you've got to be diligent with it. You cannot stop no matter how difficult it is. You have to keep going. Thank you. I appreciate it because I will be real with all of you. I will not fluff things up. I will not sugarcoat it. I will not make it pretty for you. We're heading into World War III. I don't like talking about it because it's not doom and gloom. I prefer to talk about the love, but we need to wake up. All of you need to wake up. Quit fantasizing, quit believing in this materialistic world when you turn on your TV and, oh, I need that new thing. Oh, I need this. Oh, I need the new car. Oh, I need the new home. I need pictures. I need more. No, it's part of the problem. Be the love. That is it. Just be who you are, which is love. You are created out of your Father, from your Father. You are your Father. Love. Jesus talked about it. It's what he preached. Love one another as yourself. Love your neighbor as yourself. Why? That neighbor is you, right? He didn't turn Romans away. He loved them just as much as he loves the disciples or his own children. He did not differentiate from anybody. He loved everybody unconditionally. There was no hate in him. He mastered love. And I've said this before, love is everything. If you love to garden, then that is a loving relationship and therefore the love of your life. Love is everything. And he loved everything. About everyone, every place, everything was love. He never faltered and he never wavered from it. And that is what I felt, in my near-death experience. When he showed up, that is all I felt from him. I recognized his energy instantly, just as I recognized my father's. When I left my body, I knew exactly where I was, who was holding me, where I was. And when Yeshua showed up, I recognized his love instantly. And it was overbearing, is the only way to describe it to you. It was just beyond anything I could even comprehend to tell you. There's no words for it in this language. How did I discover all this stuff? You can remember when you're caught up in that moment, it took me 4 years of deconstructing everything in those feelings and what they were and how they impacted my life, and where I was taught to read certain material, or certain material would be brought up in my feeds and stuff, and I would listen to it, and it would resonate so profoundly within me that I could use that moment in my own NDE and say, yep, that's exactly what it is. So these spiritual experiences that I'm still having, like, was it last week? I was meditating and I was sitting on the couch, and all of a sudden it was like I was back in my ascension process. I was blasted with uber amounts of heat. I mean, I was like laying here and I had to take my shirt off. I was encompassed in sweat again, and I was just radiating like I was in the sun, and it came out of nowhere, which means my higher self was right above me, giving me that energy, cleaning me out, giving me that knowledge. And it lasted for about 10 minutes. And then all of a sudden, I just felt it go away. So that was my higher self coming into me. But you have to believe in that, guys. I can tell you, I can talk to you, but until you start incorporating that into your life, all you're doing is watching a video, right? All you're doing is just listening to me talk and regurgitate things. But I'm regurgitating them often because I want you to understand how powerful you are. You all have the power to make the sun and the stars bow to your will. Yes, I am not kidding. That is how powerful you are. God did not create the universe. We did, so we could come here and do our little, be a rebellious teenager and, make the rules. So that's how powerful we are. The universe is growing and expanding. How? Through our love. The more love we create and the more love we put into the universe, the faster the universe grows. The universe is consciously aware of itself, meaning it's aware of itself. And not only that, the universe is aware of exactly who you are and where you are in it. The universe just isn't dead space out there. Yeah, we can't live in it. These bodies can't. We can, but the universe is aware of you and where you are in it and what you are doing. So, that's how powerful you are. You're creating this, all of this in your mind at home. We're projectors. So what you're seeing and listening to me, right? You are dreaming that at home, and it's coming through your avatar. Thus, we are projectors, projecting what we see out into the physical realm. We can change that with our thoughts and redirect that to recreate our own physical reality. That's how powerful you are. That's why Jesus said, wake up and realize who you are. It's beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful. And that's what I'm trying to get to you guys. So let me answer some questions. Shalom, Jason. Shalom. I've been on my spiritual work for about 20 years. Right now, I struggle greatly with my understanding. Don't just get rid of the Bible. I don't subscribe to religion, but wrestle with how much of the Bible, none of the Bible applies except for what Jesus stood for. And if you ripped out everything or put it into one page, it would probably take up 2 pages of the Bible. Love. Okay. Love is everything. Love is all that matters. All right. That's it. Jesus was written out of the Bible. So take that crap and throw it in the garbage, right? You don't need it. God does not care about it. He'd prefer you to get rid of it. So would Jesus. It has strayed you from your true purpose. It has kept you in fear and gone down the wrong path for a very long time, and for a good reason, because the church holds that power over you when in fact you are that power. So get rid of the Bible. You don't need it. God doesn't care. Neither does Jesus, neither does the non-physical. Not only that, God doesn't care whether you believe in him or not, because you are God. That's the whole point of coming here, bud, is to rediscover who you are. That's what Jesus came here to do. Tell you guys, wake up, realize who you are, so that we may be all one with the Father. Jesus knew that. He said it. I and the Father are one. He knew it. That's what he's trying to do. And that's what I'm telling you to do. Have you ever read Nature of the Soul by... No. But put that in the comments, though, and I will pick that up, because I'm in the process of picking up some new books, so I will get on to reading that stuff. Somebody mentioned Conversations with God, so I'm going to pick that up. I want to read those, and there was another book out there that I want to read as well. If Jesus was as simple as human, you say, why would... Because Jesus was a man. The only difference in why God chose Jesus over any one of us, and I explained this before. You take a 4-year-old or a kindergartner, right? Going to be going into first grade. And then you take another person who had just graduated college. Both of those two are exactly the same beings. They're no different in any way, right? Except one is further up the ladder in knowledge and experience and vibration. Doesn't mean that this person is wrong. They just haven't reached that level yet, right? Well, Jesus was way up the ladder from us, way up the ladder. He wasn't any different than us when we're home, right? No, he was further along in his journey. He got it, right? That's why he was picked for the job. That's why Jesus, Father, went into a different dimension and called him to him and say, I need you for this. Why? He was a powerful Son of God, a powerful Son of God. And when he incarnated into his last incarnation as Yeshua Bar Yosef, he was chosen because of that. He was powerful. He got it. He understood that this was all a dream. It was nothing more than a fake reality. And he was being guided by home, like I'm talking to you. There was verbal communication every day, guided into where he needed to go. That's the only reason he was chosen. He was a man of flesh and blood. He woke up hard. He went to the bathroom. He took a poop. He made love to his wife. He had children. But he was powerful. He not only rediscovered who he was mastered love, and he mastered the body. He was able to manipulate the physical realm. He did it with ease. We are all capable of that. That's all Jesus was chosen for. It could have been any one of us, but he was the best being for the job. That's it. Heaven on earth. You can create. Heaven is here. You are here. It's right here. Go within. Find it. Bring it out to you. I do it every day. I love you guys. And when I'm in love, I'm talking of love, how much I love my life, how much I love my children, everything. I love you all. The universe is aware of you, but we have no memory. No, the past doesn't exist. Remember, everything that is taking place in the universe is taking place right now. There is no past. Remember what Jesus said in the Bible. Don't worry about yesterday. You can't change it. He didn't go on to further say it doesn't exist, right? Because when you go back home, you can come back into this life and you'll see it happening right now. My birth is taking place right now in this timeline. I'm just further along in the journey, okay? And he said, do not worry about tomorrow. It hasn't come. Why? It's not real. What he's saying is, live right now. Live your life to the fullest. Love unconditionally. Have fun. Choose love. Make love. Be love. Live your life now, because that is the only thing that is taking place, is right now. When you feel it, you know it. That's absolutely correct. You will feel it inside you. You will feel that tug. You will feel the tears. Sometimes I want to cry because my dad's part of the family still believes in that stuff. Forgive them, hon. Just forgive them. For they know not what they do. They're lost, and that's okay. It's okay. Remember, you came here to work on yourself. You came here to find yourself. Work on you. Does it have to be so dramatic the way Jesus? No. The only reason Jesus was crucified was because God wanted to show all of us that were around at that time that the body wasn't real, that this world isn't real. If he can come back with a brand new body, say, look, I'm still here, I'm talking, here I am, you know, what greater thing, what greater experience could you see than to see somebody you just saw have a physical death stand there in front of you and you can feel them, touch them, and be with them? But people didn't want to believe it. They were so afraid of what they were seeing. Their rational minds couldn't believe it. They fell into fear when they saw the most magnificent thing anybody or any human has ever seen. How do you explain reincarnation? It's simple. When it's time for me to go home, I'm going to shut this body down. We've got about 5 more minutes and then I got to go. I'm going to shut this body down. And just like I did, you're going to see a ball of energy come out. You won't all see it, but sometimes if people are around a loved one and they're filming it, you will actually be able to see it, right? Them leaving their body. You'll just simply leave your body and go home. When it's time, and you're going to take a lot of time off, centuries, but here on Earth, it could be 50 to 100 years, all right, before you come back. But what you're going to do is you're going to watch your last life. You're going to sit with Father, you're going to sit with your archangel and your guides and your overlord, which is your supervisor, who's specifically in charge of you. You're going to watch your last life and you're going to go, yeah, I need to work on that. Definitely need to work on that. You're going to pick those things and you're going to amplify them depending on how high you rose in vibration, right? You're cutting off all your reincarnating lives. So the more you love, the more you forgive, the more you live in that love and the high vibration, the ripple effect that I said, right? You're spreading that out through all your past lives and you're healing all of those wounds all at once. You can't see it or feel it, but it's taking place. So that's why I'm telling you guys, live in love one another, love them unconditionally. Somebody cuts you off, hey, have a beautiful day. I love you too, I'm tripping you out. Do you believe we should not think thoughts? No, have fun, think, but think in love. Anytime you have a negative thought coming in, what is that of? That's the ego, right? The ego is trying to keep itself safe. The ego doesn't have your best interest, right? The ego only communicates through attacking, judging, and condemning. So when you're in negative thoughts and you're attacking someone or you're condemning someone or you're ripping into someone, that's the ego. You got to tell the ego to F off. You have to gain control of your life. You have to take the reins back. I'm tripping you out. Do you know about the 3 days of darkness? No, I don't. No. But what I did tell you in the last video, that World War III will be here in about 9 years. Could be a couple years sooner or a couple years later. All right. So when that happens, it's an extinction level event, damn near. So we need to work on that. We need to love unconditionally right now. Everyone, everything. Work on yourselves. Work on yourself. Go within. And we need to stop this. And that is what I'm desperately trying to do. One day in your channel, could you react to a what? Goes around condemning people who aren't Christian. Well, could I react? Well, if I'm reacting to it now, I mean, if he's condemning people who aren't Christian, then who's running the show? This Caden Pody, his ego, God doesn't care about your religion. And as far as Caden goes, if he wants to remain in the darkness and lost, that's clearly up to him. But that's when you're sitting there and you're listening to that, right? To that podcast, that's when you say, you know what? I'm done with this. I know that's not true. I've listened to Jason. I've listened to others. Love is the thing. God doesn't care about you. You know what? You want to stay lost? All the more power to you. I love you. I forgive you. I truly do. I wish you nothing but the best on your journey. And then say, I'm out. That's all you got to do. But I'm not going to sit there and attack and condemn him for his own beliefs. He's just lost. He's truly in the darkness. Like most Christians would say, you know, come up and knock on the door and she's all battered and bruised and a bloody nose, maybe a knocked out tooth. You know, I wouldn't be a good Christian if I didn't come over here and tell you that you can't get a divorce. I just couldn't be a good Christian. Fuck you. Right? No, I don't think so. Your father wants you to boot, scoot, and boogie and go help yourself and find love. All right? But is he going to come down here and hold your hand? No. That's your job. But am I going to attack? No, I will not. The ego can go fuck himself. Jason, are all people from all religions going to the same? Yes. Everybody goes home. Everybody goes home. There is no other place to go to than home. It's just simply home. This universe isn't real. Heaven, hell. Home, hell. Religion plays no part in anything we do here or anything we do when we're home in any way, shape, or form. Get rid of religion, period. When I left religion, I was free. I was lost in religion. After my NDE, when I left it, I was free. I speak to my Father plain and clear, a million times a day. Religion plays no part in my life anymore. I want no part of it. And I would strongly encourage all of you to do the same. Ditch it. Forgive it like I did. I had to forgive that priest. All right? I had to forgive me being upset and angry. And then once I forgave the Catholic Church for what they've done, I moved on. And that's that. Follow-up. I'd like to know why this always happens, please. What about adultery? I seem to attract married women always. There is no such thing as adultery. God doesn't hold you accountable for a piece of paper that wants to bind you for eternity when he knows we were created to love and be loved and to make love. I had an affair with my twin flame. I should have burned in hell. There's no get out of jail free card because somebody just died on a cross. That's not what he died for. He died to show you that the body isn't real, that it's all a state of mind. So adultery doesn't exist. If you want to believe in adultery because you're a god, then you give that power. You give the power to the Catholic Church, right? Get over that. That plays no part in anything. When I was in love, when I was falling in love, when I was with my twin flame, even though I was married, Father was going, yay, 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 keep it up. You know, why? I was in love. I was in the highest vibration. So don't worry. There's no such thing as adultery. That's blah. So you're more than welcome. All right, guys, I'm going to let it go at that. That's how I feel about it as well. Thank you for, you're more than welcome. Could it be coming our way to be avoided in this timeline? We need, yeah, if we choose love, forgiveness, we can stop this war from happening. Otherwise, we're going to enter, those of us that have ascended, when we transition home, we will go into the new earth. All of you that haven't ascended, that refuse to, you know, do the work and all that, well, when you go home, you will be gone or be going to another planet like this. Oh, I love you guys. The church, this is the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'm going to go. The church told you that Mary Magdalene was a whore and a drunk, right? That's what the church wants you to believe. And that is not the case. You have to understand, when I left my body, I was in one with everything. All knowledge was there. Some of this knowledge I was allowed to keep for my teaching thing. There's a lot of it that I can't remember. So the church portrays Mary Magdalene, his wife, not a follower of Jesus, paints Mary Magdalene as a whore, as a drunk, as a prostitute. That was not the case. Jesus and Mary met when they were young, like teenagers. And the reason, and this is going to freak you out, the reason why Mary Magdalene was shunned by society, by everybody around, was because, and some of you may be this as far as the females go, her mother was a single mother. Mary Magdalene, or Mary's mother, Mary, was a single mother. Whether their father up and left, I don't remember that part, or he was killed. But in the Jewish society, in Arabic society back then, it was a huge black mark, smudge. So Mary was ostracized. So was her mother, from society, from the Jewish law. It was kind of forbidden to be a single parent. Much like in today's society, when you see a single mother, she's shunned for being a whatever you want to call her, right? Which is unfair and wrong. But that is why the story gets, the Catholic Church just took it and twisted it into what they wanted. That's all that happened to Mary. That's it. They fell in love from very early on, and they are inseparable. Even now, in the non-physical, even though they can't have a physical relationship, they are madly and deeply in love with one another. They are basically a twin flame, soulmates for all of eternity. But that is where Mary got her bad rap from. Not from being a whore and a prostitute, but by her mother being a single mother. Back then, it was absolutely forbidden, a no-no. So when Jesus and Mary got together, Jesus became a black sheep, which is what he wanted anyways, because what he was teaching was the same thing. It was against the law. But they fell in love and became inseparable. And when they got married after Jesus came back from India, where he learned from the masters on how to go within and gain those powers, when he came back, they married late. I think they got married when Jesus was 27 or 28. Which again, by Hebrew law, is old age. That, you get married very young, 12, 13. So everything they did was black sheepish. So, but that, and Jesus fostered 2 sons and a daughter. So if you've watched the Da Vinci Code, they damn near get it right, except they portray Mary as the whore and the prostitute, which isn't the case. It was his wife. She didn't have red flowing hair. If you've ever looked at Middle Eastern women, even to this day, they have jet black hair. Mary didn't have flowing red hair. She was a Middle Eastern woman, probably black or very dark skinned or a mulatto, just like Jesus. All right. So when they had children, they weren't protected. The church isn't protecting Jesus's bloodline. What the church is fiercely protecting is what Jesus was teaching and how he was teaching it. He wasn't allowed back then to teach that. It was against the law. And that is why the church ultimately had him executed. He broke the law. He was executed as a common criminal. He wasn't allowed to teach what he was teaching. So even though Mary was watching her husband be brutally beaten, she also knew that he wasn't in the body. He was at home watching the whole thing. His body died a horrible death. He wasn't in it. He felt very little, if any, pain at all. And like he said, I'll be back in 3 days. 3 days, he was back with a brand new body. So that's the story of Mary Magdalene and his children. That's why Jesus took his teachings out on the road, because he sat down with Mary. He did not want to get his wife and his children involved in what he was teaching, because he knew it was extremely dangerous. He was in an occupied country with the Romans, and the Pharisees. It was, so he took it away from his family, and he spared his family what ultimately killed him. So, and that's that, guys. That, I mean, I could go on to that for a long time. That was one of the things that was really driven in home to me, is Mary is simply his wife. And then when, after he came back, he was allowed to stay with Mary for what she had given up in that timeline with him, that they, all the disciples, they split because they were scared, except for two, Peter and I forgot who else now. I can't remember. They got on a boat in the middle of the night, the family, and they sailed across the sea to, like the movie, southern France, where Jesus stayed and preached there for 6 more years until Father said it's time to come home. But he spent those 6 years with his wife and children. I think Mary died when she was 86 or 88 in southern France. She's buried somewhere over there. And who really cares where her sarcophagus is or her body is? Who cares? It means nothing. It's like when you get rid of your old car and get a new one. You don't care where that car went, do you? Well, we don't care what happens to these bodies. So anyway, I thought this was over, and I'm glad. All right, it's over now, guys. You can rewatch this and have those questions ready for me. Not this, this coming weekend, but in 2 weeks I'll be back on again. So bring your questions, your comments, or concerns. Do you believe in the theory of evolution? No, not in any way, shape, or form. And the Big Bang theory. Well, what happened to that? I'll answer that real quick. Okay. When we stepped away from Father, when he said, all right, you want to call the shots? You want to be the boss. Okay. So he goes out, and what do we see? The void, pure black, right? So what happened? We all chose our lives, right? Every single one of us. And I'm going to make this real quick. Then what did we do? We all decided to fall asleep, to dream. And then in that moment, what took place? Boom! The Big Bang. The universe was born, right? Out of nothing. We began to dream. What are we? We're gods. We create. So in our dreams, we are creating all of this. The universe was instantly born. And the moment we all wake up and say, enough of this crap, we're done, guess what will happen? Whoop, it'll go backwards and into nothingness. I love you guys. Have a blessed rest of your holiday with your friends and family. I love you all so very much. For all those that have supported me from the very beginning, I love you and I thank you. Put your questions, your comments, concerns in there, and I will get to them, or I'll bring them up in the next video. But I love all of you so very much. Have a blessed night. Bye, guys.